process is in a difficult state. The multilateral diplomatic scene is more difficult than ever in the past recent years. And also we have a lot of logistics constraints with some delegations not sending anyone to Belém, and then others knowing that they're going to have very reduced delegation sizes. We definitely know that there are some issues on which we will see progress, but it's a bit hard to pin down exactly what turn this conference will take. Last year in Baku, the parties to the Paris Agreement agreed on a new collective quantified goal on climate finance. Now the NCQG has been set at 300 billion per year to support climate action in developing countries. That's a step forward, but it really lagged behind expectations of developing countries, and it doesn't match the level of expected needs. The decision on the NCQG also touches upon a lot of other finance-related aspects, and one key thing that will be an important point of discussion now in Belém is the task for the presidency to develop a roadmap towards $1.3 trillion. And so these discussions were led by the presidency over the course of the past year. Because this was not conducted in the negotiations per se, there's a lot of question marks as to the shape of that roadmap. The parties, the governments, they committed to participating in the Paris Agreement and to implementing its objectives. But all these private actors and even, development banks, they have their own agendas. And so it is quite a challenge to bring everybody in line and contribute to that same objective. So the task for this roadmap is quite huge. So this year, 2025, marks another milestone for the Paris Agreement in the sense that countries are supposed to submit the third round of so-called nationally determined contributions to the agreement. So these are the climate plans that the countries are putting forward every 5 years. We have to say that most countries failed the deadline, so the new NDCs were supposed to be submitted in February. Few countries submitted by that time. Some more trickled in over the summer. And then there was this big event at the margins of the UN General Assembly where even more countries presented their NDCs. While there's been a lot of media attention tracking the submission of the NDCs and also looking at the level of ambition of the NDCs that were submitted, it remains to be seen how these NDCs will be discussed in Belém. The issue on which we will hopefully see the most progress this year in Belém is the global goal on adaptation. Parties agreed to a 2-year process where experts would look at the range of indicators that are available to track progress. So there was a whole process of feedback loops between the expert and the parties to narrow down a set of indicators. At one point, we were talking several thousand indicators. And now the experts put forward a set of about 100 indicators, which parties are hopefully going to agree in Belém. I find it difficult to say whether it actually makes a difference to have the COP in the Amazon. It does make a difference for the outside perspective, so the world will probably see more pictures about the Amazon and hear more about Belém and the issues on the ground. But to be honest, for a lot of negotiators, it doesn't really change anything where the conference is taking place. We are going in the early morning from our accommodations to the venue, and then we sit in meeting rooms that typically don't have any windows, and we sit there for 12, 14, 15 more hours. So we will see, but I think the human experience is probably going to be rather limited for those people who will be hunkered down in negotiation rooms. I think in the negotiations and in all the discussions surrounding the climate negotiations, we often talk about leadership. But I think we need much more frank discussions in that sense. And we still see governments shying away from taking difficult decisions and for engaging in straightforward discussions with their citizens and their constituency, having these discussions to try and chart out a better future for everyone.